All right, buckle up because we're diving deep into Love is Blind Season 7. And wow, this season, let's be real, was a roller coaster.
You've been glued to the screen, I get it. We've been digging into all the recaps, analyses, you name it, even those fiery social media takes.
All to break down Season 7.
Yep, all the juicy insights.
So let's just jump right in.
Yeah, let's do it.
Starting with that love square, everyone's talking about it. Nick, Hannah, Leo, Brittany. It was intense.
Forget a love triangle. This was a whole love square.
Oh, it got messy.
Yeah.
Leo, our art dealer, the financially fortunate one, seemed to be juggling both Hannah and Brittany. Honestly, all the talk about his wealth was a bit much, wasn't it? Like, is he genuinely trying to impress them, or is it just, showing off?
It definitely made you think, right, about authenticity, especially on a reality show. People watching, they can tell when someone's putting on an act.
Oh, for sure. And this show's all about those genuine connections. So that kind of, posturing can really backfire.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then there's Brittany. Some of her comments about needing financial security and a partner raised eyebrows. Do you think the producers were playing that up? to, stir the pot?
It's tough to say for sure. I mean, reality TV, it thrives on conflict.
Yeah.
The producers, they know how to push buttons, get a reaction. But it did make you think, what do people really want in a partner, especially in this crazy setting?
It's true. It's not your typical dating scene.
Yeah.
And then, bam, they just drop Leo and Brittany. Gone after they get engaged. Never seen that before.
Totally unprecedented. Engaged and then poof, vanish. Makes you wonder what went down behind the scenes.
Was it their choice, the producers?
Yeah.
Makes you realize how much power they have.
They shaped the whole story, that's for sure.
All right, moving on from that chaotic square, we've got Ramses and Marissa. They seemed good together initially, but their views on the military, whoa.
Yeah, that was a clash of values.
Big time.
It's like that initial excitement fades and then, bam, a fundamental difference pops up. Marissa, with her military background, she felt totally blindsided by Ramses's strong anti-military stance.
You have to wonder, in those pods, how well can you really get to know someone?
It's a good question, right? Because it seemed like Ramses waited to reveal that, like he held back on purpose.
It didn't feel like a simple oversight. Speaking of things not being said, there's Tyler and Ashley. Picture perfect, right?
Yeah.
Until Tyler drops the bomb.
Oh, man, the kids.
The kids, you never mentioned having children. Not a word. And here he is talking about having kids with Ashley.
Social media went nuts. It wasn't just regular reality TV drama. People were genuinely worried for Ashley.
Totally. And questioning Tyler's whole deal. Is this ethical? You got to be upfront about major life stuff, especially in a relationship.
Especially when you're building a relationship, yeah.
It shattered their perfect image. And talking about shattered images, Steven and Monica, he seemed like Prince Charming until those texts surfaced.
Oh, yeah, those texts. Explicit messages to another woman.
While engaged to Monica, what was he thinking? Was he even serious about finding love, or was it all a game?
It made everyone think twice, Even when someone seems perfect, there might be more to the story.
Appearances can be so deceiving. But Monica, she was amazing. Using Venmo to call him out, what a power move.
Yeah, she took control. She wasn't going to put up with that. It resonated with so many people, especially women, who've been in similar situations.
It sparked a whole conversation. Boundaries, self-respect, and standing up for yourself.
Absolutely. It's like enough is enough.
Now, in all this chaos, we did have Garrett and Taylor. They seemed like a bright spot, a real connection, similar interests.
Yeah, they had this genuine warmth from the start. They were both into science, a little nerdy, and it just worked.
It felt real, relatable. They weren't immune to challenges, though. Taylor's insecurities, that fight over Garrett liking his ex's pose.
It was real-life couple stuff.
Exactly. But they talked it out, openly, even when it was tough. It gave you hope, right? Amidst all the drama.
It did. It really did. It showed that real connections can happen, even on a reality show. But those connections, they get tested, like with Nick and Hannah. Their relationship was a roller coaster, and not the fun kind.
Oof, Hannah. The constant criticism, the way she was trying to, control Nick, it was tough to watch.
You could see Nick trying, bless his heart. But it was like watching a train wreck in slow motion.
It was like textbook incompatibility amplified by, the whole pressure cooker of the show. Hannah had this vision of the perfect partner.
Yeah, and she was trying to force Nick into that mold.
It didn't work. And her friends, they weren't helping. Always adding fuel to the fire. Do you think that's common? Friends getting too involved?
But I think it happens. Everyone brings their own baggage to a relationship, their own influences. Sometimes those outside voices, they can drown out the couple's own communication.
It makes you wonder, how much do our friends and family shape our choices in love, even if we don't realize it?
It's a good question. We're all influenced by the people around us.
Okay, so we've covered some of the big couples, the drama, but season 7 wasn't all bad. Garrett and Taylor, they had some really sweet moments.
You did. Their connection felt very genuine. And even with those bumps in the road, like that ex's message thing, they talked it through.
It was refreshing. Maturity and respect, especially compared to some of the other couples.
It was a nice counterpoint to all the toxicity.
For sure. So let's zoom out a bit. Big picture. What are some themes that jumped out this season? One thing, all the dishonesty, especially from the guys.
Yeah, it kept happening. Made you wonder, were they really there for love, or was it all just a game?
And the role of social media, it's wild. Like with Tyler, people online found stuff that contradicted his story about the kids. It was like a whole other layer of the show was happening.
Almost like social media is an extension of the show itself. People fact-checking, giving their opinions. It's powerful.
And sometimes it even feels like they can influence what happens. It's like the audience is part of the experiment now, watching, analyzing these relationships in real time.
It adds a whole new dimension to the love is blind concept, doesn't it? It's not just about finding love without seeing each other. It's about doing it with everyone watching and commenting.
And that pressure, it has to be intense.
Yeah.
Not just from each other, but from millions of people judging their every move.
It makes you wonder about the chances of these relationships lasting. Can love really grow in that kind of environment?
It's a good point. Does the format almost set them up to fail?
Maybe. That tight timeline always being filmed, the pressure to fit a certain mold, it's a lot.
And don't forget the editing. We've talked about how the producers can shape the narrative.
Oh, yeah. Focus on the drama, the conflict. We don't always get the full picture.
Sometimes it feels like we're just seeing the most sensational moments, not the whole story.
It reminds us that reality TV, well, it's entertainment, carefully crafted to keep us watching.
Which means, as viewers, we have to remember that. These are real people with real feelings.
Exactly. It's a balancing act. Enjoying the show, but also being aware of the human element.
Okay, stepping back from the production side, Season 7 got me thinking a lot about what we look for in a partner. Money seemed to be a bigger factor than in past seasons.
It did. Leo always talking about his wealth, Brittany mentioning financial security. It made you wonder, are these connections genuine? Or is it about the lifestyle?
And that question, it resonated with a lot of people, because who hasn't considered, at least a little bit, the practical side of a partner's finances?
It's a real-world thing, and the show brought it front and center.
Then you have couples like Ramses and Marissa, where their core beliefs clashed.
Their whole conflict about the military, it showed how important those deep-down values are. Compatibility goes beyond just liking the same things or being physically attracted.
It's about those fundamental things that shape how you see the world.
Yeah, big picture stuff.
And then there's Tyler and Ashley. His secret about the kids, it wasn't just about honesty. It was about responsibility, about the emotional impact of keeping that hidden.
Made you wonder if he was truly ready for a new relationship, if he was still dealing with his past.
It sparked a bigger conversation about being open and honest when you're building a future with someone. We all have baggage, and it's crucial to be upfront about the stuff that could affect a partner.
It's about respecting each other enough to share those things.
Right. And Stephen, his actions just prove the point. Actions speak louder than words.
All that charm gone when his infidelity came out. It's a reminder. Pay attention to how someone acts, not just what they say.
Monica, though, she was amazing. Calling him out on Venmo, it showed that you have the power to set your own boundaries, to hold people accountable.
Absolutely. You don't have to tolerate bad behavior.
So with all this drama, the ups and downs, does Love is Blind actually work? Can you really find lasting love in this kind of setting?
That's the big question, isn't it?
The show's track record, well, it's debatable.
Yeah.
But I think it does give us valuable insights about dating, about relationships in the modern world.
It makes you confront your own biases, your priorities, what you really want in a connection.
It's a social experiment. Love, relationships, happiness, it holds up a mirror to all of it.
And it shows us that love, it's not always easy.
It's messy, it's unpredictable, there are going to be bumps along the way.
Exactly. Heartbreak, joy, it's all part of the journey. And it makes you wonder, how real can these relationships be when every little thing is filmed and analyzed? Not just on the show, but on social media, too.
Oh, social media, it's like a whole other world where these relationships keep playing out.
Monica and Venmo, remember that? Genius.
Oh, yeah, calling Steven out like that.
Using a money app to expose infidelity, that went viral for sure.
It really changed how we think about social media and relationships, didn't it? It's not just for happy couples anymore.
It's a tool, right? For accountability, for giving power back to people who've been wronged.
It flipped the script, that's for sure. And it shows how reality TV has changed, too. It's not just the producers controlling everything anymore.
The viewers, they have a voice now. They're fact-checking, sharing their opinions, even influencing the show.
It's like they're part of the experiment now, watching everything unfold in real time.
Exactly. It adds a whole other layer to the Love is Blind idea. You're not just falling for someone without seeing them. You're doing it with the whole world watching and judging.
That pressure, wow, I can't even imagine. Not just from your partner, but from millions of people.
It makes you question if these relationships can last, you know? Can love really thrive when it's so public, so manufactured?
It's a valid question. And it makes you wonder, does the show's format, does it actually work against them?
It's possible. The short timeline, always being on camera, the pressure to be this perfect couple.
And we've talked about the editing, how producers can twist things.
Right, you don't always see the whole story. It's more about the drama, the conflict.
It's like we're getting a highlight reel of the most shocking parts, not the real messy journey of these couples.
Exactly. It's a reminder that reality TV, it's still entertainment. It's made to keep us hooked.
So we have to remember that, as viewers. These are real people with real feelings.
Absolutely. Find that balance, you know? Enjoy the show, but also keep in mind the human side of it.
Okay, moving away from the production side, Season 7 really made me think about what we value in a partner. Money seemed to be a much bigger factor this time around.
It did, yeah. Leo always flaunting his wealth, Brittany talking about needing financial security. It felt different.
It made you think, are these people really attracted to each other, or are they attracted to the lifestyle?
And that's a question a lot of people relate to, right? Because who hasn't considered the financial side of dating? At least a little bit.
It's a real-life thing, and the show just put it out there for everyone to see.
Totally. And then you have couples like Ramses and Marissa, where it was about their core values clashing.
Their fight over the military, it showed how much those deep-down beliefs matter. Compatibility goes beyond just liking the same hobbies or finding someone attractive.
It's about your worldview, the things that shape your choices in life.
Exactly, the big picture stuff. And that brings us back to Tyler and Ashley. The secret about his kids, it wasn't just about being honest. It was about taking responsibility, understanding how that secret would affect someone.
It made you wonder if he was really ready for a new relationship, if he was still carrying that baggage from his past.
It started a whole conversation about being upfront and transparent when you're building a future with someone.
Yeah, we all have our history, but it's about respecting your partner enough to share those things, especially if they could impact your life together.
It's about trust, ultimately. And then there's Steven. His actions just prove that old saying, actions speak louder than words.
All that charm, and then boom, the infidelity comes out. It's like, pay attention to what people do, not just what they say.
Monica, though, she was amazing. Exposing him on Venmo, that was powerful. It shows that you don't have to just sit there and take bad behavior.
Yeah.
You have the power to draw the line.
Absolutely. You set your own boundaries. Now, with all the drama and everything we've analyzed, the big question is, does Love is Blind actually work? Can real, lasting love actually happen in this setting?
That's the million-dollar question. And while the show's success rate is, well, up for debate, I do think it gives us some important insights about modern dating, about how relationships work today.
It makes you look at your own biases, you know? What are your priorities? What do you truly want in a connection?
It's like a social experiment playing out in front of us. Love, relationships, happiness, it all gets put under the microscope.
And it shows us that love, well, it's rarely simple.
There are going to be challenges, heartbreak, moments of joy. It's all part of the journey.
It's like we get to peek inside, see how it all works, the good and the bad.
And it makes you think about your own ideas about love. What are we looking for? How much do societal expectations play a role?
It's deeper than it looks, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So after all this deep dive into Season 7, what sticks with you? What's going to stay in your mind even after the finale?
It's like, yeah, what's the takeaway?
For me, it's that love, it's not about reaching some finish line. It's the whole journey.
It's the journey, for sure. And it's never going to be a straight line.
Exactly. There are going to be bumps, you know, disagreements, maybe even betrayal, moments where you just aren't sure.
And it's about facing those things, honestly, being open with each other and being willing to grow, both as a couple and on your own.
And sometimes the bravest thing, the kindest thing you can do is walk away.
Season 7 really showed that. Couples holding on when it was clearly over, and others finding the strength to let go, even though it hurt.
It's about knowing yourself, putting your own well-being first, even when it's tough, even when people expect you to do something else.
Love doesn't conquer everything, that's for sure. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. Maybe you're not compatible, maybe there's been dishonesty, or your values just don't line up.
But even when things fall apart, there's growth. You learn from it. You figure out what you really want and come out stronger.
So yeah, all the drama, the awkward moments, the blow-ups. Season 7 was a reminder that we're all human.
It made you laugh, it made you cry, it made you question everything you thought you knew about love.
And I think the best part is, it got people talking. Not just about the show, but about real-life stuff.
Honesty, respect, having the courage to choose yourself.
So there you have it. Our deep dive into Love is Blind Season 7. A roller coaster of emotions, messy relationships, and insights that make you think.
It was a wild ride, that's for sure. Full of surprises and reminders that love, it's a journey with twists and turns you can't always predict.
And now we wait for the reunion. Will any of these couples have made it? What have they learned? Is there more drama coming?
Who knows? Guess we'll have to wait and see.
But one thing's for sure, love might be blind, but we don't have to be.
Stay curious, stay informed, and keep thinking critically. That's it for this deep dive. Until next time.